And today I'm excited to bring you along for what you see in the title, and that is fire roasted tomatillo salsa verde. I am using the guidelines from the Ball canning book. They've got two different tomatillo salsas here, and so I'm kind of combining both and double checking the acidity level, because you want to make sure your acid level is high enough to water bath. This one uses lime juice and white vinegar. This other one just uses white vinegar. The other one makes a little bit more. So I will probably be upping both the lime juice and the white vinegar, and I'll go as taste-wise. Now, if you were really unsure and going off the cuff, you could totally pressure can this and not worry about any of it. But I've got my veggies are all prepared here. So I've got tomatillos here. I've got a yellow onion. I want a pretty strong onion flavor. I'm gonna slice these thick. I've got several jalapeno peppers that I've cut in half and taken the seeds and ribs out. I've got 2 poblano peppers from my garden, ancho chili peppers. And I've got some garlic here because I'm doubling the recipe that I want. I also, in here in the fridge smart, where these were, they've been in there for over almost 2 weeks, and they're just as firm, not a wrinkle on them. But I've got some serrano peppers from the garden that are also going in there. And so I'm gonna fire roast, skin these, and get the tomatillos, get some char on them. So I've got the Weber cranked up to 500 degrees, and I'm gonna go out there and get this done. So I'll bring you out there. It's also gonna have cumin, some red pepper flakes. It's gonna be delicious. Oh, and cilantro. Don't forget cilantro, but I'm leaving that in the fridge until it's time. All right, let's get to fire roasting. Want to? Come on. Okay guys, so I've got my grill nice and hot. Let's see, what does the temp say? It's 500. So I'm gonna go ahead and set onions down here, and I did pretty thick slices because I want to manage them easily, and I may have to grab my metal spatula, I don't know. I've got to try to fit all this stuff on here. Put these bigger peppers, easy access. So I'll go ahead and roast off. Ooh, I didn't seed that one. Oh darn. I really am just going to roast the jalapeno on one side, and fire roasted anything is better. It just adds more flavor. Now I will skin the poblano peppers. I'm going to skin those, and the jalapenos are already jumping because that fire is hot. Hear it? That's awesome. All right, and then we'll get our tomatillos down and get those roasting as soon as I get these off. I can put a couple back here, but these I do not have to skin the tomatillos or the jalapenos. I'm not going to skin any of those, but the poblanos I will put in a bag and go ahead and skin them. And so there you go. That's what's happening. I'll be back when I take these off the grill and show you the nice char marks on that and finish up with the tomatillos. So I guess you can see the char on these jalapenos. Getting a nice little, I don't want them overly charred, just enough to add a little flavor, a little fire roast. It'll add to, yum. It will definitely, and I've turned my onions over. I got all the tomatillos on there. I turned my poblanos because look, they're getting a nice char as well. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, I'm going to continue here until I get char all over these tomatillos, and I will go in, take you in, and start the process. I've already chopped my cilantro and my garlic, and it all goes down in a saucepan and cooks down with the vinegar and lime juice and everything. Cooks down until it's ready to puree. Yum. And I like my chili verde salsa just like I buy it, in a smoother consistency. Thick but smooth. Not chunky. Okay, so all the veggies are, I don't know if you can see, all these got fire roasted. My tomatillos got fire roasted, the onions, the jalapenos. So now I'm going to put this in view, and literally we're gonna throw down, I've got, they're only about an inch and a half long serranos. So we're gonna do 7 of those to begin with. We may need more, I don't know. And I did not seed them. I've got a whole bundle of cilantro, so about a cup of cilantro, maybe a little more. Can't have too much of that because it cooks way down. The garlic, the 2 ancho chilies, and now we're gonna go ahead with all of our tomatillos and our onions and the jalapeno peppers. That made it easy. Now, I probably could have put this in a smaller pot, but I didn't want to risk it, and I am going to be using the immersion blender, so having it up higher will keep it from splattering onto my stove. I'm going to put in a healthy 1/4 cup of lime juice, and I'm using bottled lime juice because the acidic value is higher. You get a guaranteed, where fresh limes may have a difference. Okay. And I don't add fresh lime zest into this recipe. If I was just making it fresh like I do, I go ahead and do that. But canning, you gotta be really careful that you only get the zest and no pith at all, or it can turn bitter on you. Okay, 1/4 cup, and this I may add to it afterwards, and then we're also going to put in a 1.5 cups of vinegar. Is that a 1.5 cups? A little bit more. I may add the rest of that. So I'm going to take this over to the stove. Look how beautiful. It's going to make delicious salsa verde. Tomatillo Salsa Verde. Okay, don't forget, you need red pepper flakes, and I need, how much of that do I need? Oh, it says a 1/2 teaspoon. That's, I think, a 1/2 teaspoon for wimpy lips. I don't have wimpy lips. I want it spicy, so it's a tablespoon. And it's double in the recipe anyway, so it would have been a whole teaspoon. So we need cumin, and it's calling for 2 teaspoons, but I'm gonna give it 2 heaping tablespoons because I love the taste of cumin. And again, this is how I would be doing it for myself. Now, one more thing, we need some salt. And I'm gonna use kosher salt because that's what I have handy in the modular meat. Okay, salt, 1/2 teaspoon. I think salsa needs a lot of salt. So I'm doing a whole tablespoon and a half. And we may have to add that later, so we'll leave that by the stove. All right, let's go to the stove and get this on. I'm gonna cook it and simmer it until everything is soft enough to use the immersion blender. Okay, so I've got this up to a boil. I'm gonna turn this down and I'm just gonna let it simmer, like I said, until all of these, ooh, we're fogging and steaming, until all of these vegetables are nice and soft, and I'm able to puree this. And now I'm thinking I should have made another batch, but if you guys want to see me make this twice, I'll go ahead and make it again for you. I know a lot of you don't care how often I post canning, whether it's the same thing or something new. You always take something away from it, and canning's entertainment, in my opinion. All right. These are going to soften up pretty nice. Yum. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so the salsa has cooked down. Everything is soft. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to taste it. So I am going to immersion blend this, and when I'm done, I'll bring you over to loading up some jars. I'm ready to can. Got everything ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and fill these jars. Hopefully you can see. Look how thick and nice that is. In fact, maybe I'll position the camera so you can get more of a straight on view. and you can see how thick it is going in, but you can also see where the inch of headspace is. So let me do that, and I'll probably fast forward through this process, but somebody asked me where I got these jars and what kind of jars they are. They're Better Homes and Gardens. I bought them years ago at Walmart, and they don't carry them anymore, and I absolutely love them. Love them. Because the shoulder, you can tuck meat under the shoulder, anything that, or veggies that tend to float. It's nice to tuck under, and you don't have any issues. So I'm gonna grab there's no need to debubble. There's not gonna be any bubbles in this, and it wouldn't affect it even if there was. Whew, it's warm. Okay, fingertip tight. This is gonna go in the canner, waiting for the other jars. And look at that, how beautiful. Oh, I just love having this on the shelf. It's gonna be awesome. All right. So guys, this made 7 pints, yay, and 1/2 pint. Now this is gonna go in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna let my daughter try it. And if she likes it and she wants me to can more of it, there might be a little, now that it's cooled down, it's even better. It is so good. I hope this inspires you to try this. You know, go use the ball canning book or another resource to do exact measurements for safe canning. Anyway, this is my particular recipe. I love this recipe, and it just cans up beautifully. So, as always guys, I hope that it inspires you to come back next time for another canning video, and I'll bring you back when the canner is all done. You don't start your timing until it comes up to a rolling boil. And the Freshtec takes a little bit of time to get there, but boy, it does a phenomenal job. And it frees up my stove, because I got my other canners over there, and if I need to cook, I still have half the stove left. So I'm gonna go ahead and get another canning session started. I'm gonna make some more stewed tomatoes. So I know I already did that video for you, but if you want me to do it again, I will. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, we'll be back with the finished product. It's so beautiful. Look how beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like green gold. So guys, the chili verde salsa went for 15 minutes at a rolling boil. It took a while to get it up to that point. So, and it was hot when I put it in. The water was hot, the jars are hot. So that's part of the timing process. Don't cut it short. And then it boiled vigorously for 15 full minutes. Then I turned it off, took the lid off, and it's been sitting here for probably closer to 10 minutes than 5, but you're getting, just beautiful results. And don't tip your jars, because you haven't got a seal yet. The vacuum will be created, but look how beautiful. Look at and it's sealing. As soon as it starts cooling, it creates a vacuum, and that's how the jar gets sealed. So we can dab off that excess liquid, but that venting process, it's so air can be released. And I didn't say earlier, but I did a 1/2 inch of headspace to 3/4. You don't need a full inch, because we weren't pressure canning. So it's beautiful. I just absolutely love it. I'm gonna set it over here on this towel, and I'll get the rest of the jars out. Now, I went ahead, I got 7 pints, 1 little 4-ounce, whoops, can't even see the jar. 1 little 4-ounce jar and a 1/2 pint jar. Whoop, that's sealing. Jars are popping. So I will be good for a long time. This will last me months. And then I can bring you along for another canning session when it's time to do another batch. So let's get this all out of the canner and let them start cooling. I will leave them sit here till tomorrow morning. Then I'll take my rings off, wash my jars. Usually you don't need much washing in a water bath canning session. But I will wash the jars, label them, and put them on the pantry shelf And there we go. So I did get a half pint as well. Oh, they're beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I go ahead and I'm dabbing off the excess water just because it might leave water marks on there, but it'll be just fine. So I'll get a good picture of this for you guys, and you really just want to leave these undisturbed until tomorrow. So, oh, absolutely wonderful. Guys, I hope it inspires you to try your hand at home canning. I'm stuttering because I'm so excited. It's so rewarding to have this on the shelf. I know exactly what the ingredients were, how wonderful they were, how fresh they were, and I did it all by myself. It's my recipe converted and did a couple little tweaks so it follows along with the Fall Canning Book guidelines. All right, guys, we'll see you next time for another delicious recipe using this.